Thank you, James. Thank you, everybody. It's a little heartbreaking for me to stand here. The last time I did this was in Washington, D.C., 7 years ago on August 13th at the Disarm Hate Rally after 49 of my brothers and sisters were killed at the Pulse nightclub. So, as James said, my name is Jason Hayes. I'm the founder and organizer of the Disarm Hate March on Washington, shortly after the shootings at the Pulse nightclub. I don't think any of us needs to be educated on exactly what hate can do to a community, to a people, and to a movement. I've been fighting for my community for as long as I can remember. Now many of you joined me here today for the first time. Can I ask for a little bit of noise for those of you who are allies? That's what we need. No fight is won when the support only comes from that side. We need education, information. I don't ask for acceptance because that's not something I'm willing to negotiate for. You're going to accept me. That's not a choice. We have to start seeing the value in each other and learn to celebrate our differences. If we were all the same, this would be one boring place. We're all here today after the actions of a few, which took place just a few short weeks ago, but today cannot and must not be about them. We must make today about understanding, community, and most importantly, celebration. Today we celebrate the immense change we have fought for and won over the last few decades, and we must stand together to continue to fight to stop the erosion of all of the hard work we have put in thus far. People fear what they do not know or understand. Admitting you do not know or are afraid is never easy. We must not stand here and make excuses for those who are looking to spread hate or lies. Hate has become a profitable business, and many are earning a living by spreading it. We can no longer make excuses for them or turn the other cheek. We've seen what that does. Those days are in the past. Your voices matter, and I ask you to use them freely. Rolling your eyes, biting your tongue, and scrolling on by is no longer an option. Staying silent makes you complicit. Confrontation is never easy, but if you are truly an ally, then you should be getting hit with the same rocks being thrown at the queer community if you're doing the fight with us right. Take note, Target. We hear so often the term woke being tossed around as an insult, and I want to stand here and say that I sure as hell am woke. I'm awake and my eyes are open. My eyes are open to the attempts at destroying my community and my chosen family. My eyes are open to the struggles of so many of the minorities in this country. People of color, women, immigrants, LGBTQIA folks. I'm also very aware of my privilege. I will always be white and male when I walk into a room before I will ever be queer. This is not lost on me. I must always stay aware that I will be offered many chances to use my voice when my trans brothers and sisters and queers of color are not even invited to the conversation, let alone allowed to speak. There's been so much talk about let kids be kids, don't discuss sex. Introducing my husband is no different than my cis-hetero counterpart introducing his wife. Sexual connotations are in the adults' minds and not the children's. Don't make this what it is not. If showing a 42-second video about being proud of who you are is going to make a child gay, then I ask you why it doesn't work the other way around. As many of you my age saw no LGBTQIA plus content growing up and was only exposed to heterosexual content on film, television, in my surroundings, and at school, then I should be straight. Because it doesn't work that way. Celebrating someone for who they are and allowing them to live their most authentic self does not change because you showed them a video. It doesn't work for either side. Otherwise, I'd have a free toaster. Pronouns. Yep, I'm going there. Think about this as a perfect example of the hypocrisy. Your sister Sally Smith gets married to John Jones. You now call her Sally Jones. Why? I mean, besides the fact that we still live in a society that abides by archaic laws that mark women as property. She's not Sally Jones, is she? She was born Sally Smith, and you'll never convince me otherwise. See how silly the argument is about someone's pronouns, about how to introduce them? If that's how she prefers to be introduced, I'm all for it. You have no problem calling her Mrs. Jones. So why is this? Because people don't want to consider the LGBTQIA community as equal and thus deserving of the same rights and respect. I consider myself a very strong person, but I can stand here today and tell each and every one of you that I would not have the strength to face this world and the people in it as a trans person. The amount of strength and courage it takes to live as your authentic self is immeasurable, and many or most of us could not do it. The 2020 census tells us something very interesting. We hear constantly that it's indoctrination. We never had this growing up. I never had these people. We never had these discussions. But the 2020 census tells us why. Because for safety and community, the queers in your small towns all left. Mass exodus to larger cities, Miami, Boston, New York, Los Angeles. Because that's where they found family and they found safety. That's no longer the case. Due to the connections of social media, queer people are staying in their small towns like Granby, East Granby, Simsbury. Why? Because who they are is as important to them as where they're from. They're staying in your towns. That's why we're seeing this fight on the smaller stages across this country all the time now. And those people deserve a place, and they deserve to be heard. I want to give you an example. For the Granby area residents for equality, the Facebook page was with Chris, and we had bumped into each other at Beeman's. You all know Beeman's, little tiny family-owned hardware store in town. I walked in as a gay man, Chris was there, and there was another one of my sisters there. And I took a moment to kind of look around the store and realize that there was a trans man, a trans woman, and myself, a queer man. And there were 3 other older, white, I'm assuming, cis hetero men. So at 1:15 on a Thursday afternoon, 50% of the people putting money in the register at Beeman's were queer. We are here, we are your community, and our money is green. There's no indoctrination, there's no sexualizing, there is no agenda other than safety and equality. Our greatest fear is that many parents, other kids, and towns do to young LGBTQ kids what was done to us growing up. The hate, the beatings, the bullying, the fear, and sadly the suicides. Many parents are their children's first bully. Your children hear what you say. They either emulate your words or actions onto others, or they take those words in as damage and trauma. The choice is yours. Today is the first step in Granby and the surrounding small towns heading in the right direction. Today is the day that we break the cycle of silence and turning a blind eye. A small group of liars and bullies cannot and will not be allowed to hold our hearts and hopes for our youth hostage. Every day is another day for you to do better no matter what they do. Ask questions, call out hate when you see it or hear it. Don't spend your money where you know it can and will be used to calm harm against a marginalized community. Your actions matter and truly make a difference. Look around you today and make connections. Join the Granby Area Citizens for Equality, GRACE, Facebook page. Stay connected and stay involved. I'll be posting weekly segments to ask folks if they have any questions, and I will answer you honestly and from my heart. Information is a weapon. You can always message privately and ask for guidance if you're not comfortable posting your message directly for all to view. Today is the first day of what I'm calling the summer of hope here in Granby. Hope that we can see each other honestly, hope that we can drown out the voices of hate, hope that we can learn from each other, hope that we can find hope again. Hope that today is the first day of healing for Granby and the start of a wonderful tradition of love. Happy Pride, Granby.
speechless. I mean, that's the only word to describe my state after hearing Jason's speech. That was amazing. And I have another great speech for you guys to hear by Denny Moon. He is, I believe, a member of the GCC. He has a great story to tell and one that I think everyone should hear. Denny.